And we're good to go. Welcome back, everybody, to game number 2, where MUFC is facing off against Fumoffu's Throws Fan Club. You're watching the G1 League, Day 6 of group stage action. I'm LD of dotacommentaries.com, of Beyond the Summit, and we are very proud to be bringing to you, not just myself, but also the man, the myth, the legend, the very talented vocalist, as he has proclaimed himself in the sort of the off time here between the games, Pyrian Flex.
Good afternoon, LD. Or good morning, wherever you may be.
I don't even know what time it is in terms of my biological clock, or my whatever you want to call it. My body is so confused right now.
Biological clock.
That's not the term.
Is it ticking, LD?
No, I meant my in terms of my biorhythms, I think I was trying to say.
Yeah.
My body is very confused. But alright, we're gonna see the Tinker this game though. And I gotta say, keep your eyes on kphoenix, keep your eyes on this Tinker, because when ftfc win, it is pretty much him on his Tinker. At least so far, I've never seen them win a game yet unless he plays Tinker and he plays out of his mind. So let's see if he can do it again.
Disruptor is awesome. Like whenever I come up against Disruptor, I seem to suffer horribly. So this Bat Rider, I don't know much about Bat Rider. You do see him a bit, but well, I mean, is he a first pick? Is he a good first pick?
Yeah, Bat Rider is a first pick. It's a hero that MUFC like to run. So I was just checking the chat and reading all the people arguing about 2010 vision. And
right. Oh well.
Hey, my ophthalmologist said I have it, so I'm not making this up. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. The Bat Rider pick, just a very versatile pick. It's sort of like a Darkseer in the sense that you can go into a solo lane, you can go into the suicide lane, you can even jungle with him.
Wow. You
can put him as a safe lane farmer for a couple of levels and then let someone else get the experience and go into the jungle after. You could just play him. I mean, he can pretty much go anywhere, is what I'm trying to say.
Wow.
In a very
and they got Nature's
way.
Prophet, so yeah, interesting. Ah, there's the Sven pick that they got banned out of last time. So there, the Tinker, Disruptor, Sven. That is not a lineup I ever thought I'd see. But look at this, Bat Rider and Jakira. They got two flying dudes. They need to get a Viper, and then who else can fly?
This is kind of cute. All right, so as far as the mechanics work, Disruptor, when he uses Glimpse, can actually send Prophet back to where he TP'd in from. And similarly, Bat Rider, if he lassos someone and he's blinked in or he's traveled a long distance to use that lasso, like let's say if he's a haste rune, if you glimpse him and it's too long and he travels too far back, it actually breaks the lasso. So this Disruptor has a couple of ways to deal with MUFC, and it could be a nice counter pick for them.
Clever pick, clever pick. Let's see who they banned there. Oh, they banned Leshrac this time, and they've banned Enigma and Windrunner. Okie dokie. Oh, and they banned Chen. You see Chen picked a lot, LD. Explain this to me, because I'm obviously an idiot, but is Chen, like, how awesome is Chen? Like, when someone who's good with Chen, because he doesn't seem to have sort of crazy spells. He just controls his little Chen buddies, and they sort of come out of the woods and stuff, but, well, you know, are they that strong?
His Chenlings?
Yeah, the Chenlings. Are they strong?
Well, picking Chen does a couple of things. First of all, when he gets to level 5, he can push your safe lane very effectively. You bring two creeps in, you have the hero there. Oftentimes you'll see Arena Basilius picked up just to give everything +2 armor. So your lane pushes. So that's one thing he can do, is push towers early. He's also a great defensive hero. If one of your allies is getting low, you can send them back to base. So he's good at punishing ganks in that sense. Plus he's got the heal, Hand of God. And he's also a pretty fast farmer. He's not as fast as Enigma in the jungle, but he's sort of that next step down, sort of like a mid-tier level jungle here in terms of how quickly he farms. And
but so
it frees up your lanes.
He's not a carry, is he? What kind of role does he play? Jungler? He's not support, is he?
He is, but he's not normally a hard support, because he does need... sort of the point of picking Chen is you can get some items on him early, like a quick mechanism. It's the reason most teams pick sort of these traditional jungling heroes, is they can build something that your team needs early on, whether it's an early Blink Dagger on Enigma, whether it's an early mechanism on a Chen. It gives you a little bit of versatility, or even Arcane Boots in some cases can be really helpful. So plus,
look at this.
Plus, it's a hero that MUFC love to run, so it's also just a respect band towards them.
Look at this. Bounty Hunter, and they've gone for Tide again. Didn't work out last time, obviously, but maybe this time, huh?
I like this Bounty Hunter pick, though, because you combine him with Bat Rider, who's hopefully going to get a pretty early blink, and then you have Prophet. They have 3 heroes that can pretty much just pop out of nowhere. It'd be like,
scary.
You know, whenever you start to get like an insect or rodent infestation, like you see a cockroach one day, and then a week or two later, there's like a couple, and they slowly start to multiply. Like, but there's no slow about this. They just all appear out of nowhere and instantly try and jump you.
Infestation. No Roach Motel is going to save you this time.
Yeah, exactly. I love it. I like this Night Stalker ban from FTFC because they were probably expecting a bounty hunter pick, and well, they didn't want to ban. They didn't want to leave Leshrac in the pool because if you have Prophet and Leshrac and Jakira, you can push really hard. But they make sure MUFC don't get their hands on the bounty hunter and Night Stalker, which is sort of that's where the combo gets really, really scary.
Venge again, really? I don't really get Venge as being like awesome. Is she really that good?
She's a great support hero in the mid game. She's one of the most powerful late game supports because simply by existing, she gives your teams tons of damage through the aura.
Okay. I didn't know she had an aura. She's not one of those heroes I've ever played or really read much about. So look at this. Increases near friendly 36 damage bonus. Holy cow!
And it's percentage based. So Sven gets tons of damage from his God Strength, and then she's gonna hit. That Sven's gonna hit that much harder. So any hero that does tons of damage, like a Tiny or a Sven. Wow, this is a cool hat that Fumoffu's got. All right, let's
have a look. I gotta see this big hat.
And make sure you're transmitting in game. But lest we get distracted, I'll introduce the players while you're busy admiring that one. Fumoffu playing the Sven. kphoenix on the Tinker. Should be soloing mid, rushing that bottle. tduck on that support disruptor. Sentry Ward's already picked up, which hey will be great against that offlane bounty hunter. Vodki on the Vengeful Spirit, and finally Cux handling the Tide Hunter.
Shout out to Barthilius, Jackster, and Futen, someone says. They're giving shout-outs now.
Barthilius. That's quite a name, I guess.
God, that Sven, that looks... Oh, he's got the cool shoulders, he's got the cool helmet, he's got a good sword. That's awesome. Good stuff on Sven here.
The helm looks horribly out of place with the rest of his armor, but it still looks pretty awesome.
It's so good, you couldn't leave it behind.
And why don't you go ahead and introduce MUFC?
Okay, MUFC, let me see what we got here. Those are the guys down the bottom here, right? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yep. You got, well, I think his name is Ken, but it's got E-Club in front of MUFC as well. Anyway, he's on Bounty Hunter.
That's their, I see. That's their sponsor.
Is it Ohayio, his name? Ohayio?
Ohayio. But he's abbreviated. He's abbreviated.
Okay, Ohayio there on Invoker. Then you've got Sharky down here as Bat Rider. Kling, or Ling. He's moving so I can't see. Ling as Jakiro, and Net as Nature's Prophet. Good on you.
There we go. So smoothest introductions we've ever had on the Beyond the Summit stream, and
yeah, look at that.
Glad we had you here to make it happen.
Can you see my pings? Because sometimes people say that the co-broadcasters can't see pings. Can you see my pings?
I should be able to see you when you're drawing on the screen.
Okay.
But I don't see it on. Tell me where you're drawing, because I can't see it on the mini map.
You can't? Oh, I was drawing like a massive cock right on the mini map. So.
Oh, nothing but professional, Tyrion. I love it. The one other thing about the Venge pick is when you have Disruptor and Venge, your team gets this insane initiation range because you have Swap and you have Glimpse. So you can even glimpse a hero to pull them part of the way back and then swap them the rest of the way. If you add up their initiation range, what is it actually? Venge, let's say she's level 11, so 900 on that, plus 1800 on Glimpse, so that's 2700 max initiation range if they're both using their spell. Now, we're probably not going to see it, but 2700 range is like, I want to say it's like 2 screens or so.
Yeah,
it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a screen and a half at least.
So, I mean, that'll be good for, like, they can get a good pick and then maybe initiate a team fight off that, right? Like, that's what you're looking for with that. Get a good pick.
Right, exactly. Or just keep their team alive and swap an ally to safety, send an enemy back.
But so, this is the thing with swap, right? With Vengeful Spirit, if she swaps, isn't she then deep in the shit? Also, check it out, Bounty Hunter's going to give up First Blood here. Oh, Disruptor Circle! Unlucky.
So cheeky. Great play, and this is, the offlane Bounty Hunter, you gotta be really careful.
Yeah, I think he chased after Venge right into the jungle then. He knew there were 2 other guys. I don't know if he thought he could quickly take her out. He hasn't got his Janada, he hasn't got his Shuriken, so I don't know what he's hoping for, that she's just going to stand still and die?
Generally, when you're playing that offlane Bounty Hunter, you kind of want to keep track of where the supports are. And if they go to pull by themselves or do a sort of rotate to another lane, that way you can call it immediately, or maybe even steal their jungle creeps. But
I guess it's tough because of course, like I've got vision of everything, so I don't know what they've got vision of. I could have turned it on so I've only got vision of the BH, but yeah. So who knows what he could see?
You can actually press F2 or F3 and switch between the team's visions. And
look at that!
And then F1 brings you back to all vision.
Awesome. That's awesome.
So,
hey, do you know how to make the little X's and stuff on the mini map bigger? This is probably not the good time to ask, but
it's a console command, and it's not. It's a little too complicated to explain now,
okay.
But I like what Ken's doing. I think he should have done this from level 1. It's what we saw YYF do is you just pull either from here or here, and then you could go all the way back through the river, and I'm drawn all over the map. But basically, sort of like a prophet or a lone druid, where you just use your creeps to pull the wave back to your tower, so they can't kill you while you're farming or getting some experience. You could what we see Tidehunter doing right now.
Well, look at this. Bounty Hunter's coming around the back on Tinker. Got Invoker there as well. They've got no disable here at this point, have they? But I guess they're just going to try and mess with him a little bit.
Yeah, Ken's still not getting any levels, and a little harassment on the Tinker, but kphoenix already having the bottle. Not too effective, but what you see Tidehunter doing right now, this is what Bounty Hunter can do just with his hero. And if they come onto you, you just go invis and juke, and generally it's going to be hard to keep Bounty Hunter trapped near Sentry Ward. So,
yep.
Little surprised that he didn't do that from the get-go, and now he's just going to head into the jungle, take some experience from Net, which... You know, one thing they could do is Net can actually TP on top of this cliff. He can farm this camp, and then he can create the cliff where they're farming right now. You see that one?
Yeah, yep.
And then he can farm he can actually attack the neutrals from this cliff without taking damage.
Yeah, I'd heard about this, and it seems pretty clever. I mean, because if you go to the other side of the ledge, you don't affect the respawn either, do you?
Exactly. I think even if you're close to it, you don't. I'm not sure about that, but I know if you're far away, it won't block the camp from spawning. And then you can create treants for Ken to jungle with. So if he's not going to be in the lane, that would make things a little more efficient. But bottom lane, it's Cucks who's dead. Pops the wand. That was a full wand, but in the end, not quite enough.
Oh, this could be... Oh, my goodness. Wait a second. They're going to get Tinker here, I think. Yep, but Bounty Hunter went down as well.
Kills traded. And by traded, I mean MUFC just picking up... Bounty Hunter going down, that's fine, because you killed the Tinker. You slowed him down. I don't even know if he has boots yet. He does. He just has his boots, but... You got to delay the boots of travel for kphoenix. If he gets them up quickly, life gets extremely hard.
World of pain. World of pain. What kind of build is he going for? Because I know I play... he's going for the laser and missile build. He's not going for the March build.
I think you would like this guy, period. Because he's all about the pew pew pew.
Oh, that's good. Because I play with a guy called Chewcat, and he plays a good Tinker. And he generally either go... When he does his March and Boots of Travel build, it's great. Like, we just own the other team because you just push them so hard. But they're going to take... I think they should take this top tower. Another early tower.
This might be a little too early, though. I'm not, and they also don't have the best pushing lineup. Last game, we saw
Leshrac, right?
Or we saw MUFC push around like that 6-7 minute mark. Leshrac was already level 6, and then they were able to get 2 towers right away, which means they're free to just do whatever they want. They can put a really aggressive lane ward down and rotate. If you take the tower too early, it might just give Ken a lot of experience. So I'm not sure about this decision, but we'll see how they handle it. If they put a sentry ward down and just camp out in the lane, or do this where they dive deep for Ken, who was prepared and is going to juke out of the trees. Nice little escape by him.
Tower taken. They're not going to push on again, are they? They can't. No, they're going to get back. So, so here's the thing, right? When you've done this early push, where you've kind of lost. Like, where do you farm now? Do you have to farm? Obviously, if you're in that top lane for the Radiant team, where should you go? Like, farming back here, it always seems like you have to wait forever for anything to get to you. If you know what I mean. Like, where would you go?
Poor Cox is going to go down again, and Prophet's being pretty effective. But that's sort of the concern, is if you push this too early, Sven cannot kill Bounty Hunter by himself, so unless you leave another support there, he's going to get farm and levels. Well, if he decides to, he's going to jack a regen rune. Just annoying kphoenix.
I love doing that.
Now, what they can do is what you see these supports do, which is just keep on pulling the lane so that the creeps stay near your own tower.
Right. Because that's the problem with the early push, isn't it? Is then you lose your farm, and I mean, Bounty Hunter, you know he's going to get farmed no matter what, really. As long as he gets his track up, you're going to get track gold for the whole team. It's all going to work out. But he could be in trouble here. He's wandered into the shop.
He's just trying to be cheeky. He's trying to find a spot where they're not going to come looking for him, and he may be able to get away with this. Although this isn't good. Runs in. It's going to be spotted. Do they have more sentries?
Oh, this could be very bad.
Oh,
that was nice.
He must have checked their inventories or just assumed they would not have more sentries. But if he runs into this sentry ward period, he could die. He's gonna.
Oh my goodness! I think he's gonna.
Oh, he's so close. They see him. They spot him out. There's the magic missile. Oh, it's a disaster period.
That was horrible.
Oh, he must have not seen Vodkey place the sentry ward earlier. Really unfortunate, because he was fine. If he had just stayed back, could have either just gotten experience or, at the very least, not died. And, well, Bounty Hunter being shut down pretty hard. The good news for MUFC is Sharky's almost got his Blink Dagger. And if they have this Blink Dagger on Batrider, there's a lot of easy kills on ftfc. A lot of these heroes are squishy. A lot of heroes that don't have escape mechanisms. And they can kind of keep this Tinker down, slow down his boots of travel. But we'll see what they want to do. For the moment, Batrider not really being too aggressive.
Yeah, he's level 7 already. That's pretty impressive. Where was he? Was he jungling? No, he wasn't jungling. Where was Batrider?
He was in that safe lane. Oh, Batrider glimpsed back to the fountain.
Oh, I hate that.
It's so cheeky.
And Ken's gonna walk into another sentry ward here if he's not careful.
No, that one's an observer, so he'll be okay for the moment.
Oh, right, cool, yeah, sorry.
Still though, they give up a tier 2, and really it comes off the back of that death. If he was alive there...
Yep, they wouldn't have been able to do it. Oh, Tide's level 5.5, so that's gonna be even more pain for MUFC, really.
Yeah, we're not seeing what we saw last game, which was tduck on that Tide Hunter. What was it, 15 minutes in, he still wasn't level 6?
He didn't have, he had no boots. I think he was level 5. I think he had one smoke of deceit in his that's it. That's all he had in the entire universe to his name. But yeah, this time I think he's going to hit 6 any second actually. So I don't know. Will they try and push it at that point? They've already taken 2 towers. This is this is a lot different to the first game, huh?
Greedy. This is greedy by Invoker. He's got a quick Hand of Midas up. Now, generally when you rush a Hand of Midas, it means if the opposing team doesn't gank you, you're going to come out ahead in terms of gold, but they have some good ganking heroes, although unfortunately that smoke does expire, and not sure if they can actually go now. And you'll notice that Sharky is baiting this. He expects them to gank mid. Meanwhile, bottom lane.
Oh man, poor Tide.
And now back to kphoenix, who gets caught out. The meteor and the cold snap. That's the Batrider blink, slowing down the boots of travel.
Or Disruptor and Venge. No, they're not going to go in here either.
Nothing they can do. They just they were too far away.
They sort of handed the initiative over. I think they sort of they spent about a minute stood on that ledge by the ancients there, just sort of. I guess they were waiting for an opportunity, but I don't know. It kind of feels like they were just giving it up there.
I agree. Once the smoke wears off, you're much better off being behind your whatever here you're trying to protect. So if they jump in, you can just glimpse the Batrider back. A little indecisive, and well, it also buys time for Ken, who's now hit level 7.
Yeah, he has. In short order, he hit that too, because he was level 3 not too long ago.
And this is what happens when you push that lane early and you're not pressuring other lanes. It just gives them a safe area to farm.
Big throws incoming.
Of course, a reference to ftfc's Fumoffu's Throws fan club. God, it's such an obnoxious name. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Cucks. Thinking about going in. Oh, this is the death of that twin-headed dragon. Glimpse back in, maybe not. The kinetic field's gonna miss. They have Ravage.
Ice Path is up. Oh, I think he was thinking about turning it around on Tide there for a second, but that would have been madness. In comes Nature's Prophet as well. He's just got Hand of Midas. Nothing else. That's a pretty... I mean, the Hand of Midas is one of those items. I play with a lot of people who play Nature's Prophet, and if they rush Hand of Midas, then you figure that they're hoping for like a 50-minute game, right?
Yeah, well, not a 50-minute game, but you want a longer game. It generally takes about 15 to 20 minutes to pay for itself. Ken, solo! Shuts gets out of tower range and will live there. Now Fumoffu turning this around. Net getting caught out of position. Net popping that ult, trying to hit the Bounty Hunter. Is he going to get vision? He's not. Bounty Hunter lives. And that...
So how the tower shot just sort of died on the ground? Is it because he... How did that happen? Like, normally I can run forever and it still hits me.
If you're invisible and the enemy doesn't have vision of you, it'll miss. And he just... Same thing with the magic missile from last game. He just got out of vision range in time.
Cool. Okay. I thought if it had been fired while you were in vision, it would land. But I guess you've got once the fade time's up, if you're out of range, you're good, right?
Yeah, as long as you've completely faded by the time the projectile hits. It doesn't matter if you were visible when it was started off. So it's a pretty... It's something that you'll see a lot on Templar Assassin. You can actually just meld and dodge pretty much any spell in the game.
Yeah, God, meld is bugger, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's got a really low cooldown, too. And it's an instant fade, so...
She's insane. She's just insane.
It's really hard to avoid getting caught. Look at the wards, though, that FTFC have placed. These are really aggressive wards.
Very aggressive. They've clearly decided, I mean, this game, I think also, I mean, the thing is, Tidehunter hasn't been a factor yet. He's level 7, they've got Ravage, and there hasn't been any pressure put on him like there was in the last game. So they've decided, you know what, we've got to go, obviously they know they've got to go for it. They've got to go aggressively. They've got kphoenix is his name, taken what you were saying, he's a great Tinker player, so yeah, I guess they're thinking if he can have a good game, they can win it. Why not go for it? Be aggressive, don't just sit back.
They've got 2 Midases. You really don't want to sit back. As well as a bounty hunter, so when they start getting kills, this could be the death of Ling, though. Where's that magic missile? He waits too long, and now he's going to get caught up by the lasso, then the Sunstrike. Look at the AoE damage. Ling is just destroying everyone. Net TP's in over the top. Ravage used defensively, not what they're hoping for. The Static Storm. kphoenix is here. kphoenix is here. And kphoenix, he's kind of the Superman for this team.
Yeah. God, yeah, I love it. You're in a fight, it's going badly, Tinker turns up, lasers everything, rockets everywhere, boosh.
And in the end, it's a bit of a boosh. It's still favoring the Radiant and MUFC. Yeah. With this double Midas and trading kills when you bounty hunter, as long as he's there to track, which he wasn't in that case, but probably will see him get involved soon. That's going to be trouble for FTFC. They could take this late game with equal gold. They have a really good team fight lineup. They have Sven, who scales pretty damn well as far as sort of your mid-game carries go. And doesn't need that many items. And Taker is really fantastic late game, but when you when you fall behind with this much gold this early on, it's gonna be tough. Sharky's had the Blink Dagger, now he's rushing a BKB, and
they're 4,000 behind. Yeah, that's
it's a lot. Now
for 13 minutes.
Now, to be fair, those 2 Midases together cost almost 4,000, but by the time once they use them once or twice more, it's really gonna start to add up. So they've paid for the Midases at this point. And
yeah. So now we should start. Oh, here's a little smoke gank incoming, Disruptor and Venge.
Oh, not sure what they're going to find. In fact, you notice there's a Sentry Ward mid, and they might even... This was originally placed to deward, but if anyone has their camera over this area, they'll catch them. Fumoffu getting caught by the lasso up top. Look at it! So much flame! It's an Inferno. And that's a dead Sven.
Oh, wait, here they go mid on Invoker, and they're going to get Invoker. Disruptor catches him in the thingy. What is it called?
The kinetic field.
The kinetic field, that's right.
I like the thingy better, though. I think we should stick with that.
Get him in the electric thingy!
kphoenix getting caught by the ice pad. Now the track to follow. Can kphoenix somehow get out of this one? It's normally so elusive, but I think he's just dead here. Maybe not. One more auto tick. And too many heroes at the point of attack. This is, you know, playing against a Prophet and a Bounty Hunter and a Bat Rider with Blink Daggers, it's kind of like... It's like playing, you know, casual, like, recreational, you know, pickup sports or soccer where where the enemy team or the opposing team's got all the really fast guys, so they always have, like, 5 players wherever the ball is.
Yeah, God, it's painful.
Good luck winning a soccer game when you're up against people who are 10 times as fast as you. And hey, that's the mobility.
15 years younger. That's the worst. You get a game with your friends and they're all old. And you get a game against some young kids who can just run around all day, and you think, to hell with this.
It's funny, because Prophet's a bit of a lecherous old man. Not really that fast. And same for Invoker as well.
Nature's Prophet, basically.
Yeah, now tduck gets caught. Ravage on 3, and the kinetic field, the rocket splashing through. But MUFC just absolutely outnumbering FTFC at every engagement. And that's another couple of kills for them. 2 more now.
There's not enough damage there compared to MUFC. Holy cow.
Well, they need the Sven in these fights. They really need Sven to be there when the Ravage is popping down. They have tons of AoE. They need that Stormbolt. They need his right clicks from God's Strength. But they lost their tier 1 mid, and it's harder for him to get around to these fights. He's not the strongest early to mid game ganker. He's generally here that wants to farm more. kphoenix gets caught. Sunstrike to fly. He'll die again, and kphoenix is just being completely shut down this game.
Painful stuff.
Pyrian, this is what happens whenever you pub. Everyone sees Pyrian Flax, and it's like, I want to own Pyrian Flax. MUFC, they've watched FTFC, and they know kphoenix is sort of the key to their victories. And they're like, okay, we're going to shut this guy down. He is not going to get big, and we're going to make you beat us with someone else. And so far, it doesn't look like they're able to do so.
I played a game, I think either yesterday or the day before with a friend of mine. He was just... We had the game absolutely in the bag. Like, there was no way we could throw it away. We kept... I think it was Luna that we just gave her, like, 5 kills. Just gave them to her. She had a terrible early game, and then we just went up top and just continually died to her, and that was it. The game was lost, so... I mean, it snowballs so quickly, you know? You lose one team before you make one bad decision. Like, in the game yesterday, I can't remember who who was playing. I think you were casting it, where they didn't go in on the Queen of Pain, or they should have gone in on the Queen of Pain and they turned back. Do you remember that game?
Yeah. I can't remember if I was playing it or if I just watched it, but
I think you were casting it anyway.
it was. Oh, that game. Oh, yeah, that was so painful. That was Orange versus Flash, where Flash,
Right.
if they had killed Mushi's Templar assassin, he had already bought back. They probably could have won the game or at least gotten racks off of that. But
Right. But because of that one snap missed decision, the game is lost. So who knows? Maybe now there was some. I don't know if I could call it, but basically it seems to me like FTFC are probably not going to win this one. I feel bad for them saying that, but I don't know. It feels like they just lost the initiative somewhere. You know what I mean? Like they had it, they were pushing towers, they looked aggressive. What is it? Do you think it's because the Hand of Midas has started to pay for themselves now, or what?
it's more, at this point, they've given up enough gold and enough kills that anyone can just die easily by themselves, and they need to fight as a team. They need their lineup is built around hitting a nice kinetic field with static storm, maybe glimpsing a hero out of position or sending Batrider Prophet away.
Getting that Ravage up and getting, yeah. But, I mean, the thing is, then you think about it, in any team fight, you're going to have Macro Pyre, Ice Path, Sunstrike, or Meatball, God forbid, Batriders, lassoing stuff, fire everywhere. Where do you fight? The whole ground is on fire.
It felt like a game of Super Mario or something. It's pretty insane. You know, like one of those lava levels where there's like two tiny little platforms and just a massive pit of lava.
Yeah, the things where you jump on and they start to crumble and you realize you have nowhere to go. I hate that moment when you realize, because Mario is always so chipper. You know, he's always like there with his little arm in the air, like ready to rock, and you realize you're about to die, Mario. Like, he should look more upset. His expression should gradually change as he realizes.
I think. Hey, don't knock on Mario. I'm pretty sure that he's got some sort of like facial muscle issue disorder.
Look at this, LD. What's happening?
Oh, I can see your drawings now, by the way. So make sure to just draw as many circles as possible.
Oh, I thought you was. Yeah, look at this. What's happening here?
This is smart. They're just gonna Ninja Roshan, and they have a medallion, so it drops really quickly. Fumoffu picks it up. I kind of feel that should be going to kphoenix's Tinker. But they're going to give it to Fumoffu, and treating him as the most important hero on their team. The thing is, Sven's a lot more survivable than Tinker, and
he's got the omelet. Oh. He's got it all.
Oh, this might be Ken down. Sharky joins the fight, and will this be enough to get a kill? In comes Tidehunter. Everyone trying to the flames. Look at the flames, period.
Oh, fire. So much fire.
Oh,
it's
God.
Like something out of Vietnam.
It really is. It's like the napalm is just getting exploded everywhere. Batrider almost instantly killing everyone. Sven barely survives through that. Does hold on to the Aegis.
What's happening. Look what's happening, bot. This tower's going to get knocked over by some trees. Ah! Nature probably just ran and left Jakiro to it.
The good news for them is tduck was going for a glimpse, but unfortunately was still on cooldown. The good news for them is that they didn't blow Ravage, so they still have that in the next team fight. They also didn't lose the Aegis. Actually went pretty well in the end.
Oh, the Meatball and Sunstrike combo almost takes out Tidehunter. Holy cow, I didn't know. He dropped them both.
It's not that. It's a 1 minute cooldown or so. And what you can actually do if you really want to be cheesy is get a Yule Scepter, throw them up in the air, drop a Sunstrike, and then immediately invoke either Deafening Blast or Meteor, whichever one you don't already have up, and then drop both of those as the Sunstrike hits as they come down for the Yule Scepter.
Brutal.
Meanwhile, though, it's top lane. It's kphoenix who dies again. I gotta say, kphoenix has been shut down incredibly hard, and it feels like this is what you have to do to beat FTFC, is if you shut kphoenix's Tinker down, the rest of the team they don't have the heroes, and they just don't have the kind of start they need to really do a whole lot.
Right.
And now Fumoffu is just getting
I guess the hope that Sven is going to carry them to glory here, but I don't know, maybe.
It's going to be tough because they have track working against him, and he is a hero who has chasing issues. tduck gets caught.
Oh, this could be nasty for Disruptor here, though.
Maybe a little bit. No, and then the Vengeful Spirit to follow. This is probably going to be 2 kills. Prophet ult bouncing through, and...
God, Bounty Hunter's so good with those. Like, if you get a good crit, good shuriken, track gold, he's so good.
And this is where the gold... Double Midas, and you're giving up track kills, and you're falling behind in terms of towers. That's a lot of gold. That is just...
Yeah. Well, we're 20 minutes in, and they're already 11,000 up in gold. I mean, yeah, that's huge.
Meanwhile, top lane, Sharky looking to go, and he's going to jump in on Fumoffu, who does not get the armlet off in time. Taking a lot of damage. Could pop this armlet. Maybe he could try to TP away. There is a flame break to cancel it, and Fumoffu is lane whiffing with that full breath, actually. Fumoffu's
He's tanking
dead.
hard here.
He's dead. I swear he's dead. I swear to God, this man will die.
He's tanking so much. Wow.
The bad
He's
news.
got the ages.
The bad news is he's probably gonna die twice. Macropire and the Ice Path, holding him in place into the Sprout. What a cheeky little combo, but kphoenix joins the fight. Sunstrike to bring Fumoffu low, and to bring him down, in fact. And kphoenix...
I gotta say, he didn't seem to get a lot of help there. Like, I don't know, where was it? I guess there was nowhere for them to TP to.
He was just...
Yeah, of course.
They lost the tier 1 top early, and he was farming so far, so aggressively that...
God.
There's nowhere for him to be at that point.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, bottom lane onto Vodki. There's the Deafening Blast and the Meatball, but that is not a meatball you want to consume.
The Ravage felt like a bit of a waste there, I've got to say.
And...
Oh, wait a second. No, Bounty's gonna get got. Oh, is he gonna get him? Oh, I hate that thing. The dot from Disruptor. What is it, the Thunder Strike?
Yep, that one will still hit you.
That's brutal.
And it's enough to bring him down in the end. So they get a kill, but they're only killing Bounty Hunter. They're not really shutting down the Invoker, who's getting close after the Blink Dagger to recite the Vice. The Bat Rider's probably almost got his BKB. Recipe is up. He's only 200 gold away.
Wow.
And Bat Rider with a BKB, you cannot glimpse him back. You cannot stun him. You can swap, but that's pretty much it. So your options for dealing with this Bat Rider are very, very limited.
Well, I mean, as I said, I've never played Bat Rider, and whenever I play in pubs, he doesn't seem to get picked too much. But he's a scary looking dude. I mean, geez, that Firefly thing is insane. 18 seconds, 60 damage over time. I mean, that's 60 per second that's going to tick, right?
And it gets amplified by Sticky Napalms, which has a 3-second cooldown. So every time he uses Sticky Napalm, not only do his auto attacks hit harder, not only does his Flame Break hit harder, but that Bat Rider Firefly does even more damage. So
scary. How's Tide doing? He's got Mechanism, okay. He's well, halfway to Blink Dagger. Without Blink, I mean, it's so hard to land those good Ravages.
They have a little bit of setup, but it's mostly single target setup. Deafening Blast just to slow down this push, waiting for the Ice Path, not here just yet. In comes Bounty Hunter from waiting in the wings, Ken to track. kphoenix, probably the one they want to focus on. 2-hero Ice Path. Fumoffu going to work, in comes the BKB Bat Rider, and somehow the lasso gets broken. Didn't actually catch what happened there, but the Flame Break onto kphoenix, driving him back. kphoenix will fall, now onto Vodki. Everyone in the back line is just getting massacred, and now it's a headlong retreat.
Brutal, just brutal. Didn't even get a chance to get the... Oh, he got the Ravage off, didn't he? No, he didn't. He's still on cooldown.
You know, it actually may have been the Flame Break that pushed him out of range of the lasso and helps Fumoffu to live, but in the end, doesn't look to be enough. Cuck's probably going to drop to this. Couple more auto attacks. Sharky dumping in. Wants that Tide Hunter, wants that Cucks, and that is a sad Cucks. Now Fumoffu, a very bold, a very optimistic TP away.
Oh, wow.
And not going to happen.
So what disrupted his TP then? Was it the Ice Path?
The Ice Path, yeah. That
it disjoints, right?
It does. Well, it doesn't. It doesn't disjoint. It stuns you. So.
Okay.
TPs have a channel to them, and if you're not magic immune, then Ice Path can bring you out of it. TPing away is very optimistic against this squad because they have Flame Break, they have Lasso, they have Cold Snap, they have Deafening Blast, they have Tornado, they have Prophet with a Hex soon, and Shuriken for the Bounty Hunters. So there's like 8 to 10 ways to cancel a TP. Oh, plus the Ice Path. But, hey, it was worth a shot. Didn't work in the end.
Brave.
Sharky glimpse back in, and trapped inside the kinetic field. Deafening Blast Meteor assassinates tduck. tduck. That's a sad duck.
He just dropped it right on his head. Right on his head.
That's like opening someone's mouth and just taking whatever, like the food. Like, oh, I don't like Brussels sprouts. You're gonna like them, and then you just pry that mouth open and start jamming the Brussels sprouts in. You're gonna eat them.
Another childhood memory in sort of creeping into LD's commentary.
Exactly, the life of LD.
I love Brussels sprouts myself. I always have.
I like spinach. I like asparagus. Brussels sprouts, not my favorite green leafy vegetable.
Yeah.
Gotta say.
It's like a miniature cabbage. What is there not to like? It's like a pocket-sized, more convenient cabbage.
Pocket-sized cabbages. Well, the only thing better than pocket-sized cabbages is no cabbages at all.
I love cabbage.
Man, I can't even remember the last time I ate cabbage. And I think that's for a good reason. In terms of items, though, as we should probably at least occasionally pay attention to the game, we have a Hex up on the Prophet, one soon to follow on the Invoker. They've had the Double Mighties for a long time. Everybody's getting big. They have multiple BKBs. It's looking really hard for FTFC at this point.
I would say it's looking impossible at this point. I mean, you know, oh, they just caught Tinker out again. Goodness me, he's just getting caught out again and again.
And now
they've got so much mobility, you know.
Look at this, just finding the solo kills now. Ohayio blinks in, deafening blast meteor, assassinating one. Now jumping onto tduck, Cuts and tduck rather, but the BKB prevents the glimpse back.
Look at that lasso!
He got glimpsed, but he BKB'd to prevent it. Triple kill for Ohayio. Now Ken running. Fumoffu getting kited all day and the track to allow the kiting to continue, to allow the extra gold to come out. If they can find that kill, Cucks needs to be back at base. Needs to be healing up at this fountain. Not sure why he's sitting outside of it.
There we go.
And here comes Net with the Hex. That's a dead Fumoffu. Hex to fly. Fumoffu to die. Sad, sad Fen.
God, Nature's probably just running in. Sunstrike. That, oh wow! Why didn't that do anything?
That was a midget swap, by the way. Vodkey swapping him about 3 feet. kphoenix will jump in, finds one, wants to jump on Net, could be looking to turn this around, but Lane is here, Lane is strong, and Lane wants to save his team and perhaps turn this fight around. He will do so. Just an absolute massacre inside the base.
God. Honestly, that Ice Path macro Pyre Q, you're just mashing buttons here. So, you know, the Ravage was... What did he kill anybody? Okay, he took out Bounty Hunter, fair enough. But now it's down for 2 minutes. There's such a long old cooldown on that. I always feel like it's not worth using it if you haven't got any teammates with you. You know, like you're not gonna. You might kill one guy. Obviously, I'm just talking here from my perspective. But if you're gonna, like, it's like a black hole. When you black hole to catch one dude, it's like there's your like the incentive to the other team to not run up the steps is gone, because it's like, well, now we can just go in there and do our thing. We don't have to worry about Ravage, we don't have to worry about Black Hole or something. So it always seems a bit crazy to me to drop it with such a long cooldown.
Sometimes it can be perfectly fine, especially early game, but at this point in the game, when you're completely relying on Ravage to win a fight, you need to save it. Unfortunately, just wasn't able to find the opening. I guess use it for something better than nothing. Would love to have Ravage now, although Ken is BKB'd, finds the solo kill, assassinates that Disruptor, and now Fumoffu running, Tidehunter taking the Forward Spirits, taking some good damage. The entire squad is here, and it looks like MUFC is thinking about going in. Batrider's BKB is up, his Blink is up, and his Lasso is up. Ken gets caught, surrounded by 4 heroes, and picked off. Here comes the Batrider, Batman, Batman. Fumoffu gets caught, but Fumoffu is fine so far. The swap onto Sharky, pulling him towards Vengeful Spirit, who is tracked, probably not the direction you want to go. Also don't want to be tanky. What a Sprout catching out too, it looked. Now the stun from Net. Actually, they're turning this fight around, I must say, a little bit, but then Ohayio shows up and has enough fire to make up for the Batrider's failure. Finds 2, now wants 3, and he will not find it because Net jacks that one. Mega kill for him. Sharky blinking forward. Absolute disaster for FTFC just when you think the fight is going well. Here's the Sunstrike. There's your triple kill.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
God, that was unbelievable. I mean, did you see it? It was the items there that just turned it around. They haven't, like the BKB and stuff, they just haven't got the items to compete. They're so far behind now.
Can you say Ohayio? Because my God, that man is powerful at this point.
Crazy.
You're right, though. The item advantage, it gives you this margin for error that we're seeing right now. As tduck is going to die despite being dove at the tower. MUFC really playing aggressively, but it's working. Why not?
Yeah.
Gold graph, experience graph. Just MUFC showing up with their A game and FTFC showing the lack of practice. It's definitely... Yeah. You know, they said sometimes teams say they haven't been practicing and then they play well. This is not a team who looks like they can get away with not practicing. At least not here. Oh. 2 more heroes going to drop.
That was brutal.
In a blink of an eye.
They piped. Why'd they pop a pipe there? Genuine question.
Why the hell not? I think is the answer.
I kind of feel like FTFC have been in the fight so far. They seem to be chasing down one dude and just not catching him, and then they get like outflanked, surprised by someone like Batrider owning everybody. Jakiro coming in with an ice path. It's just brutal.
This is like trying to catch a guy who's on like a Harley motorcycle or something when you've got like a little 2-speed bicycle. Fumoffu gets caught out. Fumoffu's gonna drop. Where's that meteor? Sunstrike cooling down. They don't even need it.
Oh,
ay caramba, it is so...
Now look at this, another big Ravage. What, did he kill a bunch of trees?
It's not his fault. The poor Tidehunter. Nothing he could do when the team's this far behind.
Oh, he got up! Oh, he didn't make it. Of course he didn't make it. They should Rax here, surely. I mean, that's it. GG.
it's safe to call this one over. Just no chance for FTFC. Completely outmatched this entire series. Never felt like they had a shot at either game, I must say. Even past that 5-minute mark, it was just MUFC with a huge goal lead, a huge experience lead, and a much clearer idea of what they wanted to do in the game, as well as how to go about executing and achieving that plan.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you were saying. If they haven't been practicing, that's the kind of thing. I guess you go into the game, let's see how it goes. You know, maybe if you'd had loads of practice, you'd have, like, game plans. You could have studied MUFC and said, okay, this is how they've lost previously, sort of thing. I don't know. Maybe that kind of thing. Maybe the pros just rely on that on the day they're just going to turn up and do the business. Obviously not. Right?
Sometimes you can get away with not practicing, but it's safe to say I think it cost them today. And for FTFC, this is all but the end of their hopes of advancing out of the group. Because they lose their series 2-0, they're now sitting 1-5 in the group. I believe they have one more match, but that match is against IG.
Oh.
Arguably the strongest team, I mean, almost inarguably, I would say, the strongest team in the entire event. Hell, in the world. They won International 2. They won ACE, which was the most recent LAN Chinese Dota competition. They're stomping their way through this event. They did have some struggles versus DK in the WCG China event, but that was on 6.74, the old patch, and
right.
That was only in the group stages. I haven't actually caught the finals for that. So it will be MUFC in the end, taking the series 2-0. But boy, if you could get 2 wins for each game, I mean, MUFC, this felt like more than 1 win per game. Just look at the Invoker, 21-1-13.
21-1-13. That's just sick. That is really sick.
Oh yeah.
Blink Dagger, Scythe, Hand of Midas, Treads, Soul Booster, and an Aghanims. Insane. Out
of control, period. Well, guys, that will wrap it up for this game, and unfortunately, this is our only cast for the day. N9 versus Orange did get rescheduled, but I'm LD. If you enjoy my casting, follow me, youtube.com/ldDOTA. That's where all of today's games, all the VODs will be available. Twitter and Facebook.com/ldDOTA for me. And then, of course, my lovely co-caster, Flex. If you haven't heard of him already, well, he may not be the best competitive player in the universe, although I saw some people saying he's beaten Merlini back in the day, which I don't know about that. But he does some funny vids, youtube.com/Ted himself. You can check those out, sort of tongue-in-cheek kind of guides. And we also do a series together called LD's Fascinating Journey Inside the Mind of Flax, which, hell, if you like to laugh at bad players or if you like to learn from them, if you like to watch me laugh at Pyrion and Pyrion yell at me, and generally both of us beat our heads together like a pair of rhinoceroses fighting for supremacy, then you should check that out. We sort of alternate the channels. I have a playlist of mine. And, of course, Pyrion's Twitter, twitter.com/PyrionFlax. So I think that pretty much covers it for both of us. But Pyrion, any closing thoughts, any shout-outs? Anything, any sort of words of wisdom for the good people out there as the cast is finally done for the day?
I would like to say, first of all, LD, thank you very much for inviting me to do this. I do love casting these games. They're loads of fun. I always find, like, I learn a lot just watching these guys, and it's great for me to watch it with someone like you. I can ask stupid questions, and I get really good, smart answers. So thank you very much for that. Shout out to everybody in the entire world. Ha 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 ha!
There you go. Well, guys, that wraps it up for this cast. Thank you all very much for tuning in. We'll be coming back to you tomorrow with what should be 2 full games. As for N9 versus Orange, it will be rescheduled. It will still be played, but we don't know the date or time yet. As soon as we know, I will update my Facebook. I'll update my Twitter. I'll let you guys know, and also try and post on Team Liquid, Reddit, all the good sort of community websites. So you should be able to find out. But for tomorrow, we have LGD versus EG.
I do have one extra thing to add.
Okay,
that I forgot.
Go ahead.
Which is that Tuesday night. If you look at Kawa on Team Liquid has posted a thread about it, and basically we're going to be doing a Halloween stream thing. It'll be sort of late night GMT, I think about 10 p.m. GMT or something. Whole bunch of pros playing against a whole bunch of pubs. There's going to be like 3 versus 5 games. There's going to be Left 4 Dead 2 themed games. It's going to be a load of fun.
Everybody, go check that out. It should be a blast. I was invited to do it, but I think that's my bedtime, or like that's when I'm sleeping because I'm on this I'm on this weird Asian schedule despite being in Philadelphia. So pretty much asleep when it's light out and awake when it's dark. They call me a vampire or something.
Yeah, a vampire. Yeah.
But for tomorrow we have 15:30 SGT. LGD versus EG. That should be a great game because this group, LGD is leading them by a point, but if EG can somehow take that series, they're in great position to finish second in the group, so a lot at stake there. And for anyone who doesn't know, the way the format is going to work, if you finish first or second in the group, you'll have a much easier road to the LAN finals. There's an online playoffs to follow after the group stages, and first and second place, they have a much easier path there. Third and fourth place in the groups, it's a bit of a slog. You got to sort of wade your way through the mud. So that's at 15:30 SGT, LGD versus EG, and then at 20 SGT, Tongfu versus Flash. As you can see, these two teams in the bottom of their group, and that's going to be another match where the loser of that match, if there is a loser, probably is the first team to be knocked out, or the only team to be knocked out of Group B. So a lot at stake in these matches. We're getting to that point in the group stages where things really get interesting. And I think Pyrian has left me. So
no, I'm here. I didn't realize I thought that was the end of it.
No, that's
yes,
okay.
It does.
I want my yes man to be at full attention.
Sorry, yes, sir.
Guys, thanks again for tuning in. That's going to wrap it up for today's cast. We'll be back tomorrow at 15:30 SGT. Maybe I'll see if I can have Bruno come on, do a little fantasy update, because we haven't had him in a while, but it's really early, and Bruno is a bit of a night owl as well, so he's probably sleeping. But I'll check with him. If you want to hang around, see if that's going to happen, feel free. Otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow at 15:30 SGT. Thanks again for tuning in, guys.